Friends, welcome back to the shop. Now that we've got our rear brakes on Project Clara, it's time to tackle the front.
Yes.
So, what have we got? What parts have we got?
Ooh, we've got some beefy, pretty parts going on.
Beefy.
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 Yes, yes. This big shock collar right here. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. So we have got, of course, the street or track front brake kit that we're going to actually install on here. We are converting everything over to disc, and let's walk through the table, kind of show you the goodies that come with this particular kit, and then let's get to work. I'm ready to get this done.
Yeah, let's get it done. Let's get Clara off the lift.
Yes, off the lift. All right, let's start with the important piece here.
I'm pretty sure all the pieces are important here.
All of it, yes, yes. But the instructions are incredibly important. And Sean, as usual, does a great job with all the color photos as well as the step-by-step for these. Next, we have our hub.
Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba, yeah. Then we have our intermediate mount. We have our spindle plate.
That looks like a ballpark.
Yeah. Batter up. We have sexy freaking calipers.
That is beautiful. Very big.
Yeah, stopping power there. And then you already saw the shock collar, this big bad rotor that we're going to be mounting on to the actual hub here.
I love those slots.
Yeah, everything is gorgeous. And then a bag full of goodies. We have our stale braided lines, we have all of our hardware, we have our bearings, our grease seals, everything that we need in order to be able to mount this kit.
Bottle of Loctite?
Okay, minus the Loctite. That's the only other thing that is not in this kit. Good call out, good call out. All right, let's get to work. All right, our very first step is to install the spindle mounting plate. For this, your flat end is going to go towards the front of the car, and you are going to bolt those on with the supplied 3/8 bolts. You have 3 that are all the exact same size. Those are going to go in the shallow mount holes. And then you have a longer one that's going to go through the deeper mount hole. You go ahead and use your flange nuts to hold them all on. And then we're going to torque them down now to 40 foot-pounds. All right, next we're going to go ahead and install our intermediate bracket to the 3 remaining holes. You're going to use your supplied M12 bolts with the washers. Be sure to put some red Loctite on these. For this bracket, you have a shallow mount here and then 2 deep mounts. The 2 longer ones will go to the deep, and then of course the short goes to the shallow. And now we'll torque these 3 down to 75 foot-pounds. All right, our next step is to mount our rotor to the hub itself. We're going to be using the supplied socket head screws with washers. Just use a 3/16 inch socket attachment, like an Allen driver. And then we're going to use red Loctite on each of these as well. We'll get all these in and then we'll come back and torque them. All right, now we'll go ahead and torque each of these down to 10 foot-pounds. All right, next step is to pack our inner and outer bearings. Got high temp grease. All right, now that we've got our bearings packed, we're going to go ahead and take our inner bearing, drop it in. Our sleeve is already pressed in, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll get that there. Next is our oil seal. Put that on here. Now, if you have an oil seal tool, super happy for you. Or if you have a socket big enough for this, great. That helps too. Otherwise, you'll have to be resourceful like I am and just find something else. So I've got a real heavy gauge steel outlet cover that will really allow me to put even pressure across this. And then I'm going to take a mini sledge, that on there. That's good and started. And now I'll just go ahead and tap it around the outside to fully seat it. All right, next step is to go ahead and put our hub and rotor on. Add in our inner bearing, or outer bearing, should I say. Then we're going to take our keyed washer. And if you have a 70 to 73, like we do, then you're not going to have a castle nut. You're going to have a regular nut. With this little crowned cover that's going to go on here. And then just follow the instructions on actually tightening this up. Then we'll finalize with a cotter pin. All right, next step is we'll go ahead and put on our dust cap. Did go ahead and, based on the instructions, you put silicone around the O-ring and then some anti-seize there on the threads. All right. Next up is the caliper. All right, same goes for these bolts that are supplied. You want to use red Loctite. Slide it over and we'll bolt it into the intermediate plate in the back. And now we just need to torque these down to 70 foot-pounds. And the only thing left is just to put on our steel braided line. That's as far as we're going to end up going, since we do not have master cylinders and everything else in. Okay, brake episode is done, and nothing but empty space now. Because the first time in 2.5 years...
Has it been that long?
It has been.
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She is standing on her own legs and feet.
Ish.
Ish. Yeah. Yeah. She's only got half her shoes on, no tread on the shoes, but this is temporary. This is just in order for us to move her around. These wheels are not going to be kept on the car for long term.
One of them is cracked.
Yeah, one of them is cracked. So this is also why we did not have tires. But this is just in order to put them on dollies and get them out of the way to open the lift so we can get Project Harold on. All right, so if this episode was helpful to you, because you're also looking at putting brakes on your 70-ish Mustang, be sure to smash that like button and be sure to continue to follow along on the project. For Clara, what do we have next? So one of two things. Either we are going to be putting the engine and trans in, or we are going to be doing body work and paint next, which would be next spring when it gets warmer. But we've got to talk to our paint and body work folks over at Golden Rule to see what they recommend. If it's okay for us to put the motor in, then we're going to go ahead and get that done this winter. So,
flip a coin.
Yes, choose your own adventure, as it always is for our projects. But thank you once again for following along. We really do appreciate it. And until next episode, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.